just us. So here we go. We are rolling. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gaming After Dark for this Tuesday, June the 16th, 2020. It's been 2 long weeks, but we are back in the saddle, and we are ready to ride with some fantastic topics tonight. First thing I want to get to before I get to my fantastic co-host and our special guest is that the guest lineup for this week was Craig Simmons. He couldn't be here due to some last-minute changes, but he will be back next week, so we look forward to having him here. But without any further ado, I am boom, boom, kaboom, noof, nukem is in the room, and I'm here with the lovely, the entertaining, the always sexy,
very tired, Primal Eve.
That's right. Primal's back, guys. She's ready to go. She don't know if she can make the entire show, but she is here, so take her with every second you can, okay? Listening intently. Good to have you, Primal.
They don't last long anyway, so by the time it's my time to go, you guys will be good.
All right, and our special guest tonight is a man who actually did a one-on-one interview with me just a couple of weeks back in a Gamer Spotlight. We had an absolute blast. It's still one of my favorite things I've done in the last couple of months. He's a great guy. You may have seen him around on social media, and you may have also know him from hanging out with the boys over at Gaming Beyond the Box. I am talking about ACS Husk. Husk, how are you, sir? And welcome to the podcast. I just heard his beer.
I'm absolutely great. I was hanging out watching movies and got your message, and here I am.
Well, brother, we are glad to have you here. I hope that you saved enough energy for the show. You're not completely behind the 8 ball here.
No, I'm absolutely pumped to be here, and thanks for inviting me on, dude. I appreciate it.
Well, we're glad to have you here. It's going to be a good show. We got some dynamite topics this week. I know the last show that me and Primal did a few weeks back there, like the topics were getting pretty thin, but we've definitely had a lot of juicy stuff come down the pipe over the last 2 weeks since we've been away. We missed all you guys in the chat. We really did. I know a lot of you guys missed us. You kept asking us, are we going to return? We said, yes, we are. So we are here. But before we get into the juicy topics, make this room all moist, let's give a big shout out to the chat. First of all, we got a couple of super chats from Matty P. It's your boy, Matty P. What's happening, brother? He's dropping $2 and another $2. I'm not sure if he meant to do that twice, but it's twice as nice. We'll take it, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Maybe it's 2 for me and 2 for you, Primal.
Right? I'll always take a double, Noof.
I bet you will. Some of the best things in life come in pairs. Only tits, bums. You got your balls.
Might as well throw them in there.
And one beer is even better when you got a second one to smash the first one down, right?
Gotta chase the first one with the second one.
Absolutely. That's really got to wet the throat the second time. Let's give a shout out to the amazing chat, the always on time, the always consistent Mrs. Spider-Man 356. We got CSS Freelance in the house. We also have Timothy Dixon is here. We got your boy Matty P. Crispy Bomb is in the house. Joe Dunmore, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good night. We also got, who else we got going on here? We got Casket Repair. Casket, what's happening? HR Bomber. The Bomber's here, Mr. Big Fingers himself. Xbot boy, what's going on, people? He is here. Xbot himself, Mr. Battletoads. I can't do it, but we'll get him back some week here, and he'll do it for you. Wilmy Hood is in the chat. Our good brother Wilmy. What's happening, Wilmy? J Slayer J, Tip Top Dalton. Man, we got the crew up in here tonight. I love it. I love it. Love your support, guys. Thank you so much. Dreadpool. What's going on? And we got the crew. We got the crew. All right, so we're getting ready to go. What's everybody been up to? I'll start with my lovely co-host Primal. It's been obviously a couple of weeks now. So what in the frig have you been plugging your holes with and keeping busy with?
My God. Besides working, I'm finally a parent of a teenager, and that frightens me like completely. I have no idea how I was able to keep something alive for 13 years. So that shit definitely blows my mind.
Is she at the point now where she's asking you like the dirty questions, like, "Mom, what's that down?"
Oh man, we're a little beyond that. I might have found something on her phone that I wish I didn't. We'll leave it there. That was a nice little birthday present for me.
What was your reaction to that, though, as a mom? I want to know. Like, how did it make you feel? Were you kind of shocked, or was it kind of like, okay, what's the deal?
Well, of course I'm shocked, and of course, I want to like protect her from that stuff. But I'm thinking, when I was 13 years old, I was fucking watching the scrambled ass shit on TV. You know, I was looking at the magazines and stuff like that, you know, not just for the articles. And so it's just like, okay, I guess she's just at that point where, you know, you're curious.
Curious,
yeah. Find some things out. It's still a great shock, though. Like, that's, it's like, and I look at it and I'm like, this is what she saw, and I'm seeing it too. And it's just like, it's awkward, but, you know.
Okay. Well, I hope it was at least a good representation of the male figure, not something completely disgusting.
It was I'm not so sure. I don't know. I don't know what her thought process is, but I fear that it's going to be the same as mine. So
like mother, like daughter.
All bad, yeah. And I'm sure hers will be too.
Well, you better lock away your dildos. You never know, right?
Oh my God, I know, right? That's horrifying. Oh my God, don't say that. Now I'm gonna.
Like, I gotta remember where I put half of them now.
To see if like the string was moved or something, like the battery life on something. Double check.
But make sure the hour's charged up, so you know if they're half fucking dead. You're like, okay, I think somebody's been.
Poor kid. No, it's a part of life. You know, we've all done it as teenagers.
Absolutely.
Just as long as I don't catch her actually doing those things, I think I'd probably lose my shit. But even then, with how kids are nowadays, it just, I don't know, it just bothers me. But
I remember leaving a dirty picture on the top of the toilet seat in our washroom. My sister walked in after it came out, and I forgot it was there. So I think she knew what the fuck I was doing. She kind of gave me a fucking look. I remember, and she started to laugh. She said, "I think this belongs to you."
Shit.
I was like, "Oh shit, yeah! Don't leave shit behind." Oh fuck! How about games wise? Primal, have you been able to play anything?
I've just been kind of cleaning up some cheesy little games here and there. I finished Maneater, and I'm trying to clean up Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now, and just trying to clean up that backlog because I don't have a lot of room to download games.
Yeah, no doubt.
Uninstalling, reinstalling, so I'm just focusing on that. There really isn't anything new coming out soon that's catching my eye, except for when Disco Elysium is finally announced for this. But other than that, not really anything else.
Yeah, we haven't done Gaming After Dark since that actual PlayStation show, have we?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so we will touch on that a little bit during this one, I guess. People are probably sick of it now, but I do want to talk a little bit as well tonight about like story space. Oh my God, Bug Snacks!
I finally saw the trailer.
Here's how I compare these games, guys. You know, Grounded? Well, that is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Well, Bug Snacks is pretty much Honey, I Smoked All the Weed. That's how I compare both games.
Or ate all the shrooms. I don't know where.
All right, if I do want to touch base on that a little bit because I thought about it and it might not be as bad. So if we do get to that,
a unique game that I think will do well with a lot of the younger kids for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
The butt snacks. Thanks, HR Bomber. Glad you guys are enjoying the show. Fucking chat is lit already. We got like the amazing people. Axel 1324 is in the house. What's happening, man? Tip Top Dalton, Dreadpool hanging out. Crispy Bomb, man, Spider-Man. The list goes on. I got a funny feeling Cyber Gunter be creeping in here shortly. But anyway, let's get over to our guest, Mr. Husk. What the fuck have you been doing, brother?
Well, not a whole fucking lot. I did start playing Mortal Kombat 11 finally.
Whoa.
Shout out to Crispy. I'm coming for you, dude. Just a matter of time.
Nice.
No, other than that, dude, doing a lot of fucking job hunting.
Sorry, did you get the new version of Mortal Kombat, the Aftermath one, all the characters and shit?
No, I'm on the regular one. As soon as I beat the campaign, I'll probably get the DLC.
Oh, totally. I want that too, man. Some good stuff there.
It's a blast, though.
What else have you been doing?
Job hunting. Trying to find. Yeah. Just same shit as, since April. That's what I've been up to. So.
Oh, yeah.
I was working, technically employed at the school up here, but trying to find something that fits my degree program. So it's just a long road. The world's kind of fucked right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the best time of all times to be looking for a job.
Well, every time I see you on a podcast, you're drinking something. So I was thinking brewery won't work for you.
That wouldn't be a terrible choice. They pay good.
Fucking taste tester. That's what he needs. He needs a taste tester. Is this batch any good? I'll let you know in another gallon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, awesome, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. We got some juicy topics, but before we get to the juice, let's turn shit loose. Dirk Griggity in the house, dropping a big $5 Bug Snacks is Game of the Year contender. Wow, that's a bold statement right there.
Wait, you know what? I can almost, I don't know. And anything could happen. We've seen some crazy ass shit end up being like the best games ever. So
I know what the fuck happened. Primal watched the video, saw the guy's arms turn into giant wieners, and she got fucking like, yeah.
What? Oh my gosh. Even just watching the fruit pop out every time on their arms. But no, like just real quick, like some of the weirdest, most fucked up games have been very interesting. Just like Katamari Damacy or even Psychonauts. Look at that shit. And that shit's amazing. So you never know. It is a little odd.
It is made by the team that put together Octodad. And that game came out early in the PS3 generation there. So that was a weird fucking game, but some people like it. So yeah.
To each their own, you know.
Sathius, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Sathius in the house. Alrighty, so let's get into the first topic of the night. We'll do about 2 or 3 topics, then we'll let you drop your question, probably just in case you have to jump out early. Wiener was elbow long, says Dreadpool. The only thing the Wiener wasn't as big as was the PlayStation 5. Unfortunately, nothing came close to the size of that behemoth. All right, we'll talk about that shortly. First topic, though, we'll talk about the trailer that just dropped. I was very impressed. I don't know if either one of you guys are excited about this, but I certainly am. And that is Star Wars Squadrons. Kind of came out of nowhere. Wasn't really expecting this from EA Motive. Are either one of you guys fans of the old Rogue Squadron games? And what did you think of this? And I will start with my co-host first on this one. Primal, did you get a chance to see this new Star Wars game? And is it something that where does it land on the horny meter?
I'm very interested in it. I played a lot of it back on the N64. I know I bought it for the GameCube, but I never got around to it because I don't know. And then but to have something different and something kind of it's not different. It's old but new. And compared to everything else that's being released today, so it is kind of exciting. And besides just having to do ground warfare and stuff like that with Star Wars, nice to be shooting everybody up in the air. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Oh,
yeah, it wasn't a cinematic trailer. I don't think there was any actual gameplay, as we constantly talk about again. Another cinematic,
you know what it is.
But I like the fact that it was like set in the universe we identify with the most. Like it apparently takes place right after the Death Star was destroyed in Return of the Jedi. So you still got the X-wings and the Y-wings and all of those, and the TIE fighters and stuff. So it's 5-on-5 apparently with the verses, and it has 2 different squadrons, and apparently it's got 2 dual campaigns where you can play as the dark side or the Empire, and you get to play as the rebels. So that's kind of cool.
Sorry, I got distracted mid conversation there because of the chat.
Oh, HR Bomber, and I believe it was big and white. You were like, not often we can talk about anything big and white. Oh fuck. But so is it a game that you would say it's on the radar? Because apparently it's coming up pretty soon. It's like
I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it. I can't do a lot of flight simulator type things. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Ace Combat, I've tried. The actual flight simulator I tried, but that shit just makes me so nauseous. It's probably because I'm a local player, but yeah, this is something I'll definitely.
Well, it's got a full-on VR mode, not just like a level like the Battlefront game. So that's pretty cool. That got me excited, but unfortunately, I don't have my VR anymore. But good old new Phenomics might come into play here soon.
Yeah. We all know. I'm waiting for the post.
Absolutely. Darko's Dreamers is in the house. What's going on, Darko? And Juno's 23. What is up, indeed, brother? You came at a good time. How about you, Husk, man? Were you an old Rogue Squadron fan? How do you feel this game is gonna technically fly?
Well, honestly, it looks like it might fly pretty decent. but it's a cinematic, so we can't
Right.
let our hopes get out of control. It's cool that it's coming to the VR platform. I like that idea, but I know a lot of fans of Star Wars have been clamoring for something like this for some time. So I'm just happy for them. I'm not some super Star Wars nerd by any means, and I didn't play Rogue Squadron or anything like that, but I have seen it. I can see the appeal. This would be something I'd play if I had a VR headset, but I'm not.
For those of you people who aren't following this stuff real closely, don't worry. It's not just a VR game. It has a VR mode, or you can play it in VR, but it's a full-fledged game for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 4. So
yeah, it's just you can play it in VR.
Yeah. You might scare some people with that. You're like, oh, it's a VR game. And people are like, oh, fuck. That's
I didn't think about that when I said it. So my bad.
Run. Bomber, nasty you making Primal lose your thought, man. And you didn't even show your fingers yet. Primal, he was showing off his big long fingers there. I don't know if you caught that part or not.
No, I did not. But
guys say Bomber got some.
You should see those things twirl.
They say Bomber's got some big long He got some big long
G spot. Weird. Like I'm gonna be jumping in his DMs and not asking for a dick pic. I want a finger pic. Like
he got those big long fucking G spot scrapers. That guy. Fuck. All righty. So I mean, like I said, we need to see more of the game. A lot of cinematic stuff. But if you're a Star Wars fan, and especially if you've been clanging for a next generation Rogue Squadron style game, I think it's going to be amazing. Fastback is in the house. What's up, Fastback? What are you doing, brother? Thanks for being here. But yeah, I think it's going to be a cool game. I'm definitely excited for it. It should be a day one pickup for me. Can't wait for that. So I think it comes out sometime in October. So yeah, well, Timothy, man, if you got the PSVR, pick up, because you can get it dirt cheap. Pick up Battlefront, the original Star Wars Battlefront, because it has the VR mode on there where you get to play as an X-Wing fighter. That shit will blow your mind. It's amazing. It's not very long. You beat the little mission in about 15 minutes, but it's fucking nuts. All right, so let's just quickly recap that PlayStation show. I'll start with Husk on this one. Husk, I think I've already heard some of your opinions on it overall, but how did you feel about it? What surprised you the most? What was your top game? And ultimately, how did you feel about finally seeing the PlayStation 5 in the wild and knowing that there's also a digital edition?
Oh, geez. I guess I'll try and keep this short and sweet. I don't know, to each their own. The console kind of looks okay. Like, it's kind of sleek and futuristic looking, but it's also pregnant, one of them. And I don't know. The show overall was great, except for that horse shit GTA 5 fucking stupid cocksuckers.
Yeah.
Oh my god. At least they led the show with that.
Thank God.
Stupid, but I mean, you've been selling this game since fucking 2010, so come on.
I'm coming out right now. If I see one person on my friends list playing GTA 5 again on their new fucking console, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you a fucking idiot. Do not support this game. Do not fucking buy another copy of GTA 5, or these pricks will never make GTA 6. They'll keep selling you this game, and they'll have GTA 5 for the next generation of fucking console. Like pretty soon, GTA 5 is going to come out in refrigerators, just like Skyrim. You know what I mean? Like, give it up already. Fucking drop it. Let it be. Like, Jesus, let it die.
If you don't stop buying it, they won't stop making it. Exactly. Plain and simple. Ratchet and Clank, though, game-wise, just seeing the transition between completely different worlds like that was fucking awesome. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it looked amazing. It really did. That was awesome. Juno says GTA 6 is expected for 2022. Hopefully, I would like to see it in the near future, but I definitely won't be playing GTA 5 anytime soon. Like, if I'm going to play it, I'll play the current version, but I'm not going to buy another copy just because it's got another resolution on it. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Come on now. Yeah. So obviously, Ratchet and Clank, you like. The console you kind of felt meh on the console.
Sorry, what'd you say? I almost lost you for a second.
Okay, well, let's just start with the games. Tell me what were your favorite games. You mentioned Ratchet and Clank looked awesome. Was there anything else that stuck out? Was there any big surprise that you kind of went, oh, I wasn't expecting to see that?
No.
Spider-Man did kind of get you off guard a bit.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it looked awesome, and then the confusion started like instantly. Like, is this an expansion? Is it a standalone? They had to clarify that later. I don't know. The show overall was good. I mean, all but old fucking strawberry shortcake arms was okay. Other than that, dude, I don't know. The console design, don't get the fanny pack edition. Just get the digital edition. They're the exact same console.
Fuck you, man.
Unless you really your Blu-ray player, then sure. But
stop insulting my console crap, man. I need it.
I don't think it looks terrible, but it's fucking huge. It's fucking dinner plate, dude.
Yeah, it's
like a
big.
TV tray.
Looks like a fucking turkey roaster, man. There you go. Primal, how about you? What games stood out to you? What was the biggest surprise, and what did you feel about the console?
Start that one backwards. As far as the console, I really don't care. I don't know if any of you guys saw my post last week about the console appearances for both the Xbox and the PlayStation. I said that it could look like a dildo. I don't care as long as it gives me good games. You know, I'm gonna be all over it. So it's whatever about the appearance of the console.
Well, I think you said that before. That if a console ever comes out looking like a dildo, you said you'd fuck it.
No,
and be happy.
that would now be my husband, you know, and I would be all right. But game wise, you know, of course, we all expected to see some of the stuff that we've already seen, but it was nice to see some of the new stuff too. Were all the games for me? Not really. GTA 5 will never die. There's people dropping thousands of dollars on it weekly still. Seeing Horizon, it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. Another one I'm looking forward to is the Ghostwire Tokyo. It kind of reminds me of a Shin Megami Tensei game, so that's why I'm really, really interested in that. If none of you know what the Shin Megami games are, that's Nocturne, Persona, Digital Devil Saga, all those classics. And then the Deathloop one, I'm going to keep my eye on just because I want to see what it is. Like I was really interested in it when they showed it at last year's E3, and I didn't see anything else from it. So I'm kind of like keeping it in mind. Spider-Man's cool. Okay, it's Spider-Man. I'm kind of over. I'm a little over superheroes right now. I'm all done. But no, overall, I thought it was a pretty decent show. It's nice to have a show that actually shows us games, and that's kind of what everybody's been waiting for. Having all these specs and all these little doodad things, that's great. But me as a gamer, I want to see the games. So it was a decent show, and hopefully Xbox can kind of, you know, one like not necessarily one up them, because I'm not a fan girl of either one. I didn't mean to say that, so calm down, everybody. It'd just be nice to have something, a balance of what Xbox has coming, especially with all those studios that they've acquired. Like I need to see more.
Totally. Well, if anybody in the chat works in the medical field, let me know if you've heard any stories about people getting those PlayStation Move controllers stuck in their orifices. That would be kind of funny.
Your Turismo looked like shit. I'm just going to say that.
Your girlfriend stuck one up so far, got stuck, and every time she opens her mouth, there's a weird glow coming out. Oh fuck! Hey, we got Crazy Greek dude is in the house. What's going on, Crazy Greek? How you doing, man? Power Man 4K, what's happening, brother? No problem, man. Better late, but always great. That's okay. It's all good, man. No more L's on the Xbox. Indeed, we don't need any more L's. Jay Slayer, Jay, what's happening, brother? X gonna give it to you. Well, look, basically the ball is in Microsoft's court now, and this is not the time to fuck it up anymore. You know, Sony handed them the plate now for the first time in a long time. Sony took a bit of a swing first, which we don't often see. So this fucking July, whatever Microsoft's got up their fucking sleeve, they now need to go for the jugular. There's no more, as far as I'm concerned, as an Xbox fan, and I hope you guys agree with me, no more fucking pussyfoot. I don't give a fuck what Phil got to do now. No more tiptoeing. No more we ain't going to show games early. Get your goddamn player base fucking excited. I mean, blow the roof off. You know, we go on July 7th and we say we're got expectations goddamn high this time. Damn right. be fucking high and fucking live up to them for a change. Because I'm so fucking sick of watching Xbox show after Xbox show and Larry Herb and fucking bullshit games and fucking Game Pass filler games and you know what I mean? We want to be wowed. We want to fucking you're bragging about the world's most fucking powerful console now since the Xbox One X and now the Series X. Well, fucking come out and show it. Because as far as I'm concerned, Sony got fucking less power and they fucking got teams that are making magic even with the current console. Fucking Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. I know some of you guys are probably bitching and hate me, but it's true. Like fucking Naughty Dog and their teams know how to push the envelope. I want to see more teams from Xbox do the same outside of the coalition. So Halo got to be used. Right. Halo got to fucking come out and hit this ball over the fucking park right out of there. And Microsoft literally got to come out now. If they want to have this console be successful, if they want to turn the tide, because it's not about selling the console as much as it's changing their perception that the fucking Xbox fans and the other fans have had about the product ever since 2013. It's basically carried a negativity right through the generation. There is no surprise the Xbox has fucking tanked and so badly this gen. Why? Because it's the perception of the brand. It's not about the shit they've done right. That's fine and dandy. They've given us hardware. They've fucking given us they got the studios now. They've given us everything we've asked for, but now it is time to put the games on the plate. Get this fucking shit done. Sign some friggin' exclusives that will piss someone off. Stop being Mr. fucking nice guy. Piss some people off. Make your fucking fans happy. That's what you got to do. Can you tell I'm riled up, people? Because I want Xbox to deliver for a change. I want to have a big fucking shit-eating smirky grin on my face from ear to fucking ear after July, and I want to be able to say, yeah! Take that, you son bitch, because there's some fucking games for you. There's some gameplay. Master Chief is back. Shit's going to hit the fan. Xbox got to deliver, guys, and that is the bottom line. No more pussyfooting. Put the games, the first-party shit on the table. Show off that fucking Conquer. Show off a Fable. Show off something. Show off a Banjo-Kazooie coming out. But show off some properties that we know and love. Show off some fucking new shit to get us excited. Stop waiting for the third parties to pick up the slack and fucking show some gameplay, not CGI cinematic shit that fucking happens between the game. Show us what happens when you play with the controller. That's what we need, baby, right there. Boom! There you go, people. Power Man 4K. If Xbox could get a Marvel game that would what you want, man, look, I don't fucking Marvel. Go with fucking DC. Lock up a Batman. Get a Superman. Get a Wonder Woman game. Get a fucking big character and fucking put that on exclusive and say, eat that shit, fucking Sony. You stole Spider-Man, so let's fucking get our own. And you know what? My motto is, you fight fire with fire. Is that how it goes? Well, Microsoft needs to fucking light a match and let this bitch burn.
Start pissing in people's Cheerios, man. Fuck it.
Yeah, baby. I'm riled up. I want shit. Yeah, I want this Xbox Series X to fucking show me why I'm ready to drop $600 or $700. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to the Sony stuff.
And that was our show.
Free Jack in the house. What's up, Free Jack? He dropping $12. I always love a good new Xbox rant. Miss you, buddy. Yeah, it's been a long time since I went off like that, but that's just because I'm passionate. It's not because I'm an asshole. I think I speak for a lot of people in this chat and on a lot of podcasts that we're just growing impatient. It's been a long time. You know what? A lot of people hate, Mr. Crap Gamer, but he is right about one thing. It's been fucking years since Microsoft showed off like really like new IPs and stuff that have kind of blown our minds. He is right about that. It's been a while. We got the hardware. Now we need the games. Draven Arrow, what's up, brother? Thanks for being here. But anyway, I thought Sony had a good show. Real quickly, I'll say Ratchet & Clank was amazing. Horizon Forbidden West was unbelievable. I can't wait. I know that game is going to be dynamite. I love the last one. If you didn't like it, I don't think the new one's going to change your mind about the franchise. But I'm pretty sure they'll right the wrong. Look beautiful, awesome looking new characters, different, a lot more variety in the environments as opposed to the original game, and so on and so forth. Project Athia looked friggin' amazing. I love that Kena game. I thought that was kind of cool, kind of like a Zelda with a CGI flair. I even thought that Little Devil with him was kind of unique, kind of really cool graphics, but a stylized all the same. What's some of the other shit? Obviously Resident Evil, that's a multi-plat, but that looked fantastic. There was a lot of good stuff. Like I said, I was surprised at Spider-Man. I didn't think we'd see anything from Spider-Man this soon. If anything, if I thought we'd see Spider-Man, I thought we'd see like a real tease of Spider-Man 2, like coming like later on down the road, like a teaser. But they actually brought out a fucking hey, this is going to be a full game, or at least Uncharted Lost Legacy full game, so probably a half price game. Could have been DLC, but that's a topic for another day. Saltiest Gaming is in the chat. What's up, Salty? How you going, man? You just missed the fucking rat of the century here.
That was pretty fucking good.
Jesse Darby, what's up, bro? Yeah, dropping lots of F-bombs there. But, the console itself, I like it. Some people really don't like the white, and I get that. That's always been an argument for every console. Some people like the white, some people like the fucking black. Hey, a little bit of a compromise. At least it's white and black, so it's got that going. I find it looks futuristic and sleek. I find when you tip it down on its side, though, it looks weird. I do like the look of it more when it's in vertical. Of course, for me, I like the digital looking better. Mm-hmm. I like the digital definitely looks better, but I'm not buying a digital. You guys know me. I don't have to explain myself anymore. I'm going to get the pregnant bitch. There you go. So PS5 pregnant edition, that's the one I'm going to go with. But yeah, bro. Yeah. So Crispy Bob. What's going on, guys? Yeah, it looks pretty good vertical. It is a big fucking beast. It looks slimmer to me when I first saw it, but yeah, there you go. Okay.
You've seen its side profile.
Yeah, I've seen lots of these comparisons to make you laugh. The memes that are going around are just hilarious. You guys seen any memes that kind of just
all over the place?
Oh my god, the one of the Pope
they're
hat.
Funny for both. The fridge versus the router, man.
The fridge and the router, unbelievable, right? Yeah, there's been some good. To me, I find if you tip it down on its side, you know what starts to remind me of? Like the fucking thing heated up too much, and the fucking side started to peel away.
Oh, it started to melt.
Yeah, it started to melt. You know how sometimes the plastic starts to curl when it's too hot? Yeah, of course we've heard all the fucking jokes about PlayStation's overheating and being really loud and shit like that. So it kind of was kind of funny. So yeah. All right, let's get into another topic here. Let's move right along. Sorry guys if I went off on a tangent there. Again, it's just the passionate Xbox fan coming out in me. I just want them to kill it on July. Like I said, I just tired of like the whole hum. I want it to be unanimous across the board. Of course, there's always going to be someone that's not going to like it. Just like there was guys who said the PlayStation show sucked, and I'm thinking, did you watch the same show that I watched? Because this was actually one of Sony's better shows, believe it or not. Well, big game coming out this fucking Friday, guys. The Last of Us Part 2. It's getting amazing reviews. I've had a chance to read from 2 or 3 different different reviewers from different sites. Of course, IGN is usually one of the big ones that people go to. They give it a 10. Dornbush or whatever the hell his name is. So I'm friggin' stoked about this game. I think anybody in the chat who's getting Last of Us 2, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not getting it, or it's even a maybe, put a 2. I'll just kind of get a consensus here. But yeah, I'll be definitely picking it up on Friday. Can't wait. Game looks amazing. I love the first one. Start with my coach, Primal Eve, baby. Give us a breakdown on The Last of Us. Are you ready for some lesbian love and some arrow shooting?
See, this is one of the series, one of 2 games that I missed out on, and I really actually hope I get a chance to play both of them eventually at some point.
Yeah. So you never played the first one?
Good, and no, I never got a chance to. So it's definitely something that I know that I missed out on, and hopefully I'll be able to pick it up here soon.
Whoa, lots of 2s in the chat. Not looking good, boys. Not looking good. I'm going to give it a 1. So how do you feel about this one? And of course the ratings. How do you feel about the whole 10 scenarios? People are bitching about that. I'm okay with games getting a 10. I know there's no such thing as a perfect game. I think there's,
I'm sure that the game definitely has qualities of a 10, but me and ratings, I'm so weary. Them, like, majority of them are very biased, and I don't normally go off of what the ratings are. I have to go by what I think of it. But the fact that there is a massive consistency of 10s, it means that it is a good game that we have coming up.
I think it's still sitting at a 96 Metacritic, so that's pretty solid across the board. I've seen a couple of guys that, weren't so fond of it and stuff like that, and that's fair. Like I said, no matter what game it is, there's always going to be that person that says, it just didn't live up to my expectation, or it just wasn't my kind of game. But, But you're definitely going to try to pick up these Last of Us at some point in time, probably?
Yeah, I'm really interested in playing the first one for right now, and then if I do enjoy it, I'll definitely pick up the second one.
Okay, so let me just get a chance on the numbers here. We got Joe Dunmore, he says 1. We got Rectangle in the house, who gives it a 2. Draven Arrow says 2. Salty's giving it a 1. I know Salt is fucking fired up for it. CSS Freelance 2. J Slayer 2. Spider-Man 2. Matty P with a 2. Doesn't matter. Digital, physical, doesn't matter how you want to consume it on Friday. Just like to know if you're planning to get it. Power Man's given a 1. It's kind of a split down the middle. Joe Dunmore, 12-hour campaign, totally worth it. I don't know how long the campaign actually is. Anybody have an idea of what it is? Did they say in any of the reviews? I'm not sure. Anybody? Husk, do you know how long this is? Husk might have stepped away from the mic, not sure. Leonidas, what's going on? Jesse Derby, what's happening? Hello?
I'm here. I'm looking.
Things go really quiet. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I love the first game. I played through it on a few different accounts. I only played the DLC stuff once, but it was fantastic. Like, there was only one gripe I really had with the first game, and that was the play control a little bit was a little bit off, but at the same time, I think it might have been purposely off a little bit because you had to upgrade your weapons and stuff to get better at the game. And as it went along, you kind of got used to it, but it felt just shifty enough, if that makes any sense, that when you're trying to aim at some of these clickers or whatever they are, it made it more intense because you couldn't just lock in and pop shot heads. Right. And that was the whole point. Cause the way these things fucking move, they kind of shift and they kind of have this weird jerkiness to them. So when you're trying to and you can't kill them by just shooting them in the gut or anything, you got to shoot them in the head. Right. So it made it freaking interesting. Leon, 40 hours. If this game is 40 hours,
Yeah,
that's astounding.
30 and 40.
That's astounding because the graphics and the environments in this game look nuts. They must have been putting in the work on this fucking thing. Holy shit. Jay says there's too much stealth. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that the first game, a lot of people would say it was a little too much on the stealth side. I don't know where this one's going to fall. This one looks a little bit more dynamic. From the videos I watched, there's a lot more where you can't just kind of hide behind a crate. You got to be a little more creative. You can get under trucks. You got to use more of the environment to distract people. They have dogs now that can sniff you out and get aware to your location and stuff like that. But yeah, the clickers were annoying, but they were essential to the story, and they definitely made the game pretty friggin' awesome. No doubt about that. Yeah, so I don't know if Husk had to step away. His mic's on the mute, so I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm definitely picking it up on Friday, and I can't wait to give everybody my first impressions of the game. Might even have to do a long-awaited video just to kind of, give you my first couple of hours in and see how it goes. Maybe even stream it a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, a lot of the reviews, apparently they weren't allowed to mention certain parts of the game. I'm not really sure where that was, but maybe it's to avoid spoilers, but it is what it is. So, it is getting high reviews. I have no problems with it. I mean, if the game is good and people like it, it's probably as close to perfection as perhaps you can get. No game is absolutely perfect, but I'm okay with it. Some people don't, but I'm okay with it. It sounds like you're pretty okay with it too, Primal.
Yeah.
Like any game in general, like getting a 10. You know what I mean? Like,
right. There's no such thing as a perfect 10 game, no matter what. But the fact that if some people do believe that and it has the qualities of that, then maybe it's definitely going to be a decent game.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry about that. My kiddo called. I had to step away.
Oh, that's fair enough, brother. Fair enough. Did you want to weigh in quickly on The Last of Us 2? What your expectations are for the game? Are you getting it? That sort of thing. Yeah. And how do you feel about the
carelessly through others and probably just watch good old playthrough like I did the first one because I don't have a PlayStation in my possession anymore.
Oh shit! So I thought you'd have one. Okay.
I did. I sold it months back when I was in a hard spot.
Wait now for a special edition to come up with the game packed in.
There you go. But it looks fucking great. I'm not gonna lie. But that's
how do you feel about the scores in general and about games getting perfect scores?
The first thing I would say is don't pay attention to them. If you want to play the game, get the game, play it. Make the judgment yourself.
Right.
Don't lean so heavily into reviews and Metacritics and scores and ratings because at the end of the day, you're going to have your own opinion on it anyway. So,
yeah. Well, that's the way I go. I tell people, people that you generally have a lot of the similarities that align, if you like sports games or something, you know what I mean? Then you take their word for it more so than someone else who probably couldn't stand sports games and et cetera, right? So, follow the people that have very similar alignments to the way that you think and feel. There's lots of YouTubers out there and stuff, and go with that. A lot of times, the best thing, especially with the smaller channels and smaller YouTubers, is nobody's getting the game for free. Nobody's paid to review it. They're giving you their honest opinion. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of the bigger sites, you have to take it with a grain of salt because a lot of their ratings are a little bit inflated because, such and such gave them a console, such and such.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, and that's how it works. I know how it works. I told people before I worked in radio before. Oh, Primal's gone already. I don't know if her internet went down. She would have said something. Yeah, she's not here now. Let me see her, guys. Oh, yeah, she's bounced out. I don't know if she's coming back. I'm assuming her internet might have crashed. That's been happening a lot because usually if she was taken off, she would have said something. Yeah.
She said she was having internet issues before we went live.
She's been having internet issues for weeks. That's but hey, hopefully she comes back. We'll give her a few minutes. But yeah, like that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? So is make up your own mind. If you're, you'll find enough people that will give you opinions, and then you kind of weigh in on it, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, we'll check in on Eve in a second, guys. We'll move the conversation right along. Hopefully she gets back at least to do her question. Hopefully she usually sends me a message if she's coming back or she's gone for the evening. But yeah, so Leonidas, what's happening? Crispy Bomb, Spider-Man. Yeah, so let me just get back to my my topics. I'm not going to beat that one to death too much. Well, again, like I said, I was going to talk about they did give a reason as why the PlayStation 5 is so big. There was an article up by Games Radar. They said obviously the big reason why it is a little larger is to dissipate the heat. It was specifically designed so it would be quieter and be able to dispel heat away from those 7 nanometer microchips and stuff like that. So definitely sounds legitimate to me. I mean, even the Xbox Series X is a bit of a chunky bugger.
Big, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously it makes tons of sense. And at the end of the day, I think us all as gamers would rather our consoles be big and bulky and actually work than have a nice and small and compact and burn up and be useless in about 6 or 7 months. So I'm all for it. It's not ideal, but hey, if you want to wait 3 or 4 years, something tells me they're going to have a slim version of these consoles anyway. So
or a refresh.
Yeah, there you go. Mid-gen
Zen
refresh.
3 and Zen 4 are going to come out before these gens even hit midlife. So,
better side of the heat. This is a good question to you. Do you think Sony? I mean, obviously the landscape of gaming has changed. A lot of the consumption of games now is digital. I think they're saying nearly 70%. I think is the estimated adoption now with digital gaming. So do you think that was largely a part, or do you think this was a little bit more of a counter move because they knew that Microsoft might be dropping the 2 SKUs? And based on the rumors, or at least the things that are going around, I gotta take it with a grain of salt. The rumors now, and a few articles I read, are leaning on $449 for the digital PS5 and $499 for the disk drive version. Do you think that could be legitimate, Husk? And do you think the digital version of this console was largely to sort of counter Microsoft if they were to come in cheaper?
All right. So first, I guess. All right. So speaking on the price points, my initial guess, I can't remember who I even talked to this about on someone's Twitter post, that with having a diskless one and them being the exact same console, I could possibly see, maybe a $50-ish difference between the consoles, even though I'm not so sure because the cost of it's probably not that drastic, especially in mass production. But yeah, $49.99 price difference would make sense to me. I don't know so much if it's to counteract something from Xbox's side. I think it's more about the fact that they probably, honestly, if you look at it, it looks to me like they specifically designed this thing the way they did the digital edition. And they're like, well, any good any pro consumer move you would make would be to give options. And that's what I think it is. Honestly, I don't know that it's I don't think it's to counteract anything or to do anything more than to provide options for their user base.
Well, Primal's in the chat, and we do know one thing. Primal says she doesn't get much action these days, but there's one constant. Her internet keeps going down on her. That was a good one. Can't help myself.
That was pretty good.
Oh, there you go. Like for me, obviously, I think it wasn't too hard to omit the disk drive or whatever, and you know what I mean. So, and obviously, I think it's a bit more of a counter move to what Microsoft's doing because they don't want to have one SKU versus two SKUs, and one SKU kind of comes in and really makes the other one look attractive. So, $50 flex point price point is a lot better than trying to move $100 or 150 either way. So, now they're both going to have two SKUs on the market most likely come this year, and um, obviously, you're going to have to see. But that's the interesting thing. Like, say, like the Lockhart comes in and it's a 6 or 7 teraflop or whatever he said it was going to be. Did he say it was going to be like 6 teraflop? I think that's the rumor, right?
4 or 5, something like
Or 4
that.
or 5.
Is what I thought I heard. I could be wrong, but
so we're going to assume that the Lockhart though will at least use the solid state drives. So that one could be legitimately far cheaper. It's hard to say. I don't want to be going around too much speculation, but it will be very interesting, and I think we're going to know a lot more probably after July 7th, if they're planning to release any information on that, or maybe they're waiting for August to blow the doors off with that. But I think Microsoft's going to lay down that roadmap here real soon, get that shit out of the way, so they can turn the full focus over to gaming and go from there. So I think Sony now is kind of waiting for Microsoft to drop hints on their price, but $449, $499 definitely sounds legitimate. Because they know that's the sweet spot. Once you go over that, things start to get a little bit iffy, and Microsoft more than Sony is really counting on a big sell through on their consoles right out the gate. So
price matters probably more this gen than it has any other, especially with what's going on in the world. So,
Infinite, what's happening, man? How you doing? All right. So obviously,
what do you think of the ventilation? You saw that, right, on the PS5?
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like, I don't know if he's showing any pictures of the back, but it looks like it runs through the body. It looks like it ventilates all around, and that could be fantastic. But I don't know. It's interesting. Like the Xbox clearly has it going one way. It looks like most of theirs is at the top of the console. So yeah, I don't know.
People were trying to say there wasn't like it was going to overheat. And honestly, with as many holes that are in that thing, I mean, it's not going to be as easy to dissipate, I suppose, because it's not just a, top or bottom to top ventilation. It's going to have to ventilate through like the entire console, but it wraps around it, like the ventilation. So
yes.
It shouldn't be toasty.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both consoles will ventilate pretty well. So we're counting on it, guys. We're counting on it. They're going to have to. Big question for a lot of people now is where will these sit on your entertainment stands, and how well will they fit in with the things that we have? So, looks like the Xbox Series X will have a little bit of an easier time based on its design. So, yeah, they definitely don't. Neither company can afford, $1 billion fiasco fucking consoles bricking and shutting down and overheating and all that shit. So Infinite's in the chat. He says we're glad we're on tonight, and he's dropping $9.99 in the super chat. Well, Infinite, we are glad that you could make it and be here with the rest of the crew. We got an amazing chat. 27 in the house watching us right now. Rock and roll this shit. Good stuff, guys. So let's move right along. I think I got a message from Primal. Let me just check on that here real quick. All right. So it looks like Primal might not be coming back here, guys. So I do apologize, but it is what it is. She said she'd had about, or it was her internet. I guess it went down. So now I guess she probably doesn't see the point in coming back at this part, but that's okay. We'll do Primal's question of the night at the end of the show then, if she's not going to be here to drop it. But let's get back to the actual topics at hand. We got a few more for you before we close out the show. The next one is turning things over to movies. And this one is near and dear to me. As far as I'm concerned, is one of the best superhero flicks of all time. It is my favorite trilogy and superhero franchise of all time. And I'm talking about the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins actually turns 15 this year. Hard to believe that movie's been over fucking 15 years. That is insane. I remember when that movie came out, it felt like yesterday. Christian Bale donning the cowl, and as far as I'm concerned, he killed it. It was awesome. Christopher Nolan took that character and that version of Batman to a whole new height. Realism, gritty, dark, moody, great acting, great performances, fantastic special effects, fantastic stunt work. That to me, those movies just blew me away. They elevated cinematics for me in a way. So I just got my Batman came today. As a matter of fact, 18-inch Batman Begins NECA figure, looks exactly like Christian Bale, well articulated, really cool stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to show you guys maybe in a quick video. But yeah, Rachel, hang on.
What is Rachel? What is she?
You tell Falcone I'm coming for him. You tell Falcone that I'm the Batman. My favorite line of the Batman thing was in The Dark Knight when the guy wearing the bat suit looks at Batman. He goes, "What's the difference between you and me?" And he goes, "I'm not the one wearing hockey pads." I love that line. Me cracks me up every time.
One. That's a good one.
It was so good. Yeah, I love those movies, man.
The most real Batman you could probably ask for. Like that was for me. It was the best representation of the Caped Crusader.
That's why I dug those movies more so than the Marvel ones. And there's no dig at the Marvel stuff or any of the other DC stuff for that matter. But this trilogy, for me, it stood out because it was so well done, and it felt realistic. If that makes any sense, like the characters felt believable. The stuff that was in the movie kind of felt, for the most part, you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of the DC stuff and the Marvel stuff is like super over the top, super full of like CGI. Half the movies feel like they're CGI. Whereas like almost everything in the Batman movies, I watched the makings of it. Almost everything was done in real time, was done on real practical effects with real props. The bike was real. The Batmobile was real. That shit was actually on the roads. I mean, some of the parts, yes, were CGI'd. I mean, sometimes they had, obviously, when he's riding the bike, they had the CGI the cape, obviously for safety reasons and different things. And there was a few different things like that too. Obviously, like even that Batwing, that ship was real. It was on wires and stuff, but they actually moved it with a crane and different things. And yeah, like that shit was awesome. Yeah, no, I
had no idea.
Yeah, go watch the makings. It'll blow your mind how much Christopher Nolan wanted to keep the movie as believable and as real as he could. Trying to use as least of the special effects he could, and that's what made that movie gritty and very real to me. I
agree with Crispy a lot. Yeah, I mean Heath was easily the best Joker.
Oh, Heath killed that fucking role, and I know people were skeptical, man, when he took it on.
Jesus,
he brought another level dimension to that character that was just kooky and fucking out there. You know what I mean?
You got to kind of see what I don't know. I guess what you would kind of imagine the Joker to be like if you saw him in real life. It's really creepy. Yeah,
it was so good. Fucking sad that Heath passed away like right at the end of that, and because it would have been really cool to hear him talk about this, you know, in retrospect, right? But absolutely. I love Batman. Batman Begins is a classic. I mean, my favorite of the trilogy was number 2. I mean, obviously with Joker and Heath, but I thought all 3 movies were amazing. Even Tom Hardy killed it as Bane. That was cool. You know.
Leo. Yeah,
Batman. You're adapted to the darkness, Batman. I was born in it.
I don't know if you guys can hear that shit, but
yeah, I could.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I love that stuff. 15 years, guys, fantastic. It's too bad that they quit. I was hoping that Christian Bale and everybody would have got together and reprised the role again, but hey, it is what it is. You know, better to go out on a high note instead of making too many sequels and making it fucking shitty. You know, even Alfred was cool, man. Michael Caine, guy's an amazing actor, and I love the whole portrayal. I mean, I love the Michael Keaton Batman suit, the Tim Burton stuff, but you know that stuff was campy, very comic-y. This was just totally different. So
this was dark. It was supposed to be. It's dark. Batman is, man.
Yeah, go back and watch the making of that, man. See what they did with that first stunt in The Dark Knight. You remember the plane when that plane is hanging upside down and the guys? That shit was all fucking real. It was insane.
What?
That shit is real. That shit is not even CGI. This shit was fucking real, dude. Like I'm telling you, the stuff that was in that movie, like I'm like, wow, the shit that they were pulling off was just nuts. Middle-aged gamer guys in the chat. What's up, brother? Long time no see. How you been? Batman Begins was very grounded when Bruce called out Alfred after Scarecrow gassed him. Vulnerable but powerful. My favorite. Yeah, there was something about the original too that was just. I love the whole ninja side. That's the side too that we didn't see in any other film. Whereas how he trained and where he went and where he learned. All that stuff. That shit was really really cool, man. What's that? God, it is top 10, not even on my list of everyone. So you trying to say, Crispy, you didn't like the Batman stuff?
Loved it.
Okay, yeah. Like to me, that's my favorite. Like when I was a kid, it was Star Wars. Star Wars was my favorite movies ever. And then the Lord of the Rings came out and slowly eclipsed Star Wars, and I love them. And now it's the Batman movies. Those are the ones I could watch them for fucking eternity over and over. They never get old to me. I love them. They're awesome.
I want to play off Leo real quick and ask you what you think of old Sparkly Pants taking over the Batman role.
Oh, dude, I'm thinking there's so many actors out there that just could have been. I give him the benefit of the doubt, just like I gave Ben Affleck benefit of the doubt, and he turned out to be a lot better than I actually thought he would be.
I would agree with that.
So because when I first heard of Ben Affleck too, I was one of those fans like, holy fuck, are you kidding me? Like Ben Affleck is Batman, because I couldn't picture him, from his previous roles. So I'm going to give Robert Pattinson at least the benefit of the doubt. You never know, but just some of the stuff I've seen with the movie so far, like to me, he just looks odd in the whole uniform. Something very odd about the movie. I don't know. Like I said, but everybody thought the same thing. Every actor that comes out and takes on a role, it's the same shit. Daniel Craig took a lot of flack for James Bond, and I thought he was fucking phenomenal. It happens with everybody. Heath Ledger took a lot of shit when he took on the role of the Joker, and now he turned out to be most people's favorite Joker.
I just want to see a Jim Carrey return to the Riddler.
Well, that's interesting you mentioned the Riddler because who's the actor doing the Riddler now in the new movie? It's not Michael Cera. It's another guy.
I have not seen that. I have no idea.
Yeah, there's another actor doing the Riddler. I don't know if anybody in the chat remembers his name, but he's doing the Riddler. He's a young actor. So yeah, I think that's the problem. A lot of us can't kind of get over the fact that he did Twilight. I mean, Robert Pattinson's gone on to do a lot of cool roles since Twilight. He is a pretty good actor. There's no question about that. He's got some chops to him. So, and then there was recently the article where he said he didn't want to bulk up. He didn't want to put on muscle mass because he felt that it emasculates the characters. But I mean, come on, guys. Everything we ever seen with Batman is big. Fucking Christian Bale put on a shitload of muscle for Batman. Oh, yeah. Ben Affleck put on a shitload of muscle.
You have to bulk up for these superhero roles. Like it's kind of a requirement unless you're. I mean, even fucking Robert Downey did for Iron Man, and he was in a suit the whole time.
Exactly. So he is already big though. Who you talking about, Robert Pattinson? I hope you're not referring to Pattinson because he don't look very fucking big at all. He looks like he's like what 5'10" and 160 pounds. Paul Dano, yes, Paul Dano is the Riddler. Thank you, Junos. Thanks for that information. So yeah, like even that selection, you can look up Paul Dano. You guys don't know him. He's been in a few popular movies. But so yeah, it's very interesting. Like I said, I don't want to throw judgment to the wind. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see what happens. But I wasn't fussy of the bat suit and the new Batmobile. Everything just looked really weird to me. So we'll see. But anyway, I don't want to go through this too much. So you like the Dark Knight trilogy, obviously?
Oh yeah, loved it.
Your favorite is the second one as well?
It's a toss up between Begins and Dark Knight. So I don't know. I can't pick one or the other, but
gotcha.
Yeah, they were awesome. They were all awesome.
All righty. Xbox been touting the whole smart delivery thing recently, which is interesting. That seems to be a big catchphrase now. Being able to take some of your most popular games and basically making them carrying over your save files and if you're playing on the new consoles, getting the upgrade basically for free without having to go and buy a separate copy of the game, that sort of stuff. So how do you feel about smart delivery? Is it all that? Both companies, well, Sony definitely coming under fire for some of their practices with the PS5, where it seems like they're really leaning on, making games exclusive to the PS5 and not being able to carry those or play them on a PS4. So how do you feel about smart delivery? Have you kind of been reading up on this or?
Yeah, it's very pro-consumer. It is prosumer as fuck. That's what they've been. I mean, that's since Phil took over, they've been trying to steer that way. It's the support for the previous gen consoles when these come out is only going to last for so long anyway. And if you think about it like a PC, like you could build this game that just looks crisp and real and amazing. And you have to scale that for potatoes and $3,000 PCs. So just because you're rocking something that's ancient but hits minimum spec doesn't mean you don't get to play the game. It literally downscales everything. Like your resolution isn't as good, your detail isn't as good. That's something I don't think people are understanding, that with this smart delivery, when you go and you play the Series X version from your Xbox One X, you will be able to see more detail, more lifelike, more realism, more particles, more everything, more resolution, more frames. It's the same thing. It's the same fucking hardware. It's custom, but it's the same hardware at its core. So whether you're on PC or console, just like if I were to go play a game on my X and go play a game on my girlfriend's OG Xbox One, it's going to look different. The frames aren't going to be the same. It's going to look way better, run rate way better on my X, and you're going to be able to see that difference no matter what year or what game it's made. That's how games work.
To me personally, it feels like it's kind of like Microsoft's middle finger to remasters or those kind of games in a sense, and I think it's good. I don't know how you can argue the fact. You just got to buy one game, and no matter which console you're going to play it on, especially if you're going to upgrade, you're going to keep that game, bring it over to your Series X, and not have to spend another $60-$80 on a game. And there's nobody out there can tell me that's bad for the consumer. That's fantastic.
That's fucking amazing,
right? That is fantastic. Your saves carry over. So if you got Gears 5 right now, for example, and you install it on your Series X, well, guess what? You're going to get that upgraded performance, and there's no charge. There's nothing to it. Maybe a couple of updates. Cyberpunk was one of the first big games to get behind this. That's going to be huge. So when Cyberpunk drops, I think, September month, you can go ahead and buy that game and not be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to buy it again in November because there's a Series X version. Like PlayStation, think about that. PlayStation guys don't have that luxury, right?
Nope, you're still playing fucking The Last of Us 2 on your PS4. When the PS5 drops.
So think about that. You buy Cyberpunk in September for your PS4, and then you pop it in if it's able to be popped in. I'm assuming it's backwards compatible. That'll work on the PS5, maybe. I don't know. Guess. So just say it is. Say it runs on the PS5, but then it doesn't get that upgrade. So right off the bat, that means that the Xbox, Series X is going to run that game a lot better, right? Axel 1324 dropping $4.99 and the super chat. He says smart delivery, new edition. The hot girlfriend you had in college pays for her own upgrades and stays with you. Yeah, I like the sound of that. That's okay. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Hey, the chat gets me pretty well, don't they? Good stuff. Good stuff. So I don't know what Sony's, let me see what middle-aged game guy says. Smart delivery will be the magic bullet to pierce Sony's shield. Jim Ryan specifically said they believe in generations, which is corporate speak for we ain't going back. And I get where Sony is coming from because Sony's got more of their eggs in the console basket. And that's the difference. Microsoft has said time and time again over the last couple of years, they don't care how you intend to play your games anymore. As long as you're playing Xbox games and you're subscribed to Xbox Live and you subscribe to Game Pass, like it or not, that's where they're headed. Yeah, sure, they'd love it. You go out and buy that nice new shiny console. I get that, but they're not forcing you. That's the thing. They're not forcing you. They're going to let you do it at your pace, and they're not forcing your hand. They're not saying, well, if you didn't upgrade or you're not planning to do this year, you're completely fucked. I like that. And I don't know how anybody can not, unless you're just pro Sony and blind as fuck. It's a good move. It's a good move for consumers who don't have the money this year. Fuck, we don't even know if everybody that has the money is going to get an Xbox Series X because we don't know what the quantities are going to be, at least for the first 6 months. I suspect
availability is going to be a problem. Maybe. Right? We're assuming. You got to assume that.
Phil alluded that it looks like they were on pace with whatever quotas they wanted, but we saw in every generation, no matter how fast they pump them out, the first couple of months is always crazy, right? It's hard. They go in the store, and as quickly as they come in the stores, they're gone back out the door because people are just chomping at the bit to get one. So
now you can just order and go pick up. So it's like shit's ordered before it even hits the shelf half the time.
Yeah. I mean, I do expect the Xbox will sell at a slower pace, console-wise, just because gamers again aren't forced to buy it right off the hop. So I think people, when that, like I said, that Spider-Man game is going to come out, and they can't go, oh yeah, I can play this on my PS4, so maybe I'll hold off for a while. They're going to be like, oh shit, I really want that Spider-Man game. Guess what, guys? Well, you better dish out your $500 because that's the only way you're going to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, and that's the way Sony wants it because that's more consoles sold. That's the thing, though. It's going to help them sell consoles, not necessarily make them sell more games. Because think about it, there's 100+ million PlayStations in the wild right now, right? So imagine how many copies of that Spider-Man game they could have had if they had a PlayStation 4 version and a PS5 version.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot more.
Exactly.
A lot more. That game could have been an instant 20 million plus seller by the time February comes in. But now they're stuck to selling probably half of whatever PlayStation 5s they sell, if they're lucky, right? If that game goes with one out of every 3 adoption kind of thing.
Yep, they could have easily went and said, "Hey, we need the resolution and graphics. Everything needs to be increased for PS5 release. Frames for Spider-Man." They could have done that, just like Xbox is going to do with their games with the smart delivery, and they're not going to because they want to sell consoles.
See, like for me, I get it from both sides of the drum. I really do. I can see it from both sides. And I'm not 100% opposed. Like, I applaud Xbox where they're going. I also understand why Sony's doing what they're doing. Like, for me, I'm planning to upgrade regardless. So if I can't bring the games over, like to me, at the end of the day, if I'm going to buy the new console, it's not a big freaking deal. I think it's a big deal for Xbox guys if they were to do the same thing and you weren't planning to go with the Series X. But I'm planning to get a PS5 at some point anyway, I would imagine. So is it really that big of a deal? I'm still gonna buy the game and then I'm gonna play it on the PS5. Do you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
But I totally get it,
I feel like there's just so many people out there that are one side or the other with their feelings on it. You know what I mean? Like you just said, you're getting the new console, so it doesn't really matter all that much to you. If you want to play your old games, you can go right back to your old console and do it. But there's a lot of other people that like that convenience and want that new hardware to push their old games farther. So it's the split's pretty drastic, to be honest.
The guys in the chat are saying you're going to be pretty lit tomorrow night.
Oh, dude, I started drinking when I got here, so we're only now, and it's going to take a while. I'm usually about 2 hours deep before gaming beyond the box. So,
well, guys, appreciate the support. Husk wasn't our original planned guest for tonight. Not that I wouldn't love to have him on Gaming After Dark. I'll definitely have him back on at some point. That's a guarantee. But Cray Simmons was supposed to be here tonight, and obviously, he couldn't make it because he had a work obligation and it was a bit late. He's supposed to come back next week. Primal Eve, her internet shit the bed on her again, so she didn't even get to stay for not even half the show this time, I don't think. We'll do her question here in just a few minutes, but but I'm glad you guys showed up. The chat's been awesome. You guys are fantastic. 36 in the house. Let's see if I got any more. I mean, like I said, smart delivery, man. It's good for the consumer. It's great for Xbox fans. I don't know. There's no other way to spin it, man. It's good for business. So, and that could be a key factor in the Xbox selling more. This is the thing. I think it's going to be a big key factor in Xbox now having a lot more third-party games sold than Sony. Think about that. Because people that all of those, because right off the bat, you got what? Say 56 million Xboxes. So people are going to buy a third-party game. And say if you're even a multi-console owner at this point, and you're planning to upgrade to a Series X, wouldn't it just make a lot more sense at this point to buy it on Xbox just for the safety sake?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a good fucking point there, dude. Yeah, you do. Yeah, I agree.
Million. So right out of the bat, those fucking third-party companies are thinking, Sony's kind of nixing us because they're not going to bring the upgrades. So we gotta make another version for the fucking console. There you go. Xbox, you can just buy whatever version you got. If you buy it before the Series X comes out, it's still going to be compatible and it's going to get the upgrades free of charge. So boom, right off the bat, third-party games get a bigger foothold on Xbox this gen right out the gate.
Absolutely, and timed exclusives.
Yeah, absolutely. At least that's what I'm thinking.
But third party, but they're still classed differently, whatever. It's still
Yeah, and
everything.
Nate's in the chat, and I get it too, Nate. And this is the same thing with a lot of Xbox guys. Like he's had a PlayStation day one, every console, right? They haven't given me a reason to change, and I get that. A lot of Xbox guys are the same reason because it's not just about the games anymore. It's about the online. It's about the friends you got online. It's about now your trophies or your achievements. It's about your game collection. It's a little harder now these days to go and just change a console because if you sell one or get rid of one and you're never going to get it again. Imagine how many games are gone, right? And part of the digital problems, guys, and you see this now, I know a lot of you guys are on digital, but I can tell you right now, and Jago will agree, still a benefit of having some discs, and I'm going to tell you why, because Mr. Rod Ferguson, you guys know him, and Mr. Mike Ibarra, they've had some major issues with Sony where their accounts got compromised. They've lost their fucking games, and they can't even get customer service on the phone. Even talk about them. They've been tweeting this out right now, and that's a big fucking error right there. And then you can't get your game collection back because of some fucking error with Sony, and then you can't even get support to help you with it. That's a big no-no. And this is why I like the disc game, because it don't matter what happens to the shit that's stored on my on my account, because I can reinstall it again if I have the game. Simple as that. So
you just slap the disc in, it knows you own it.
Reinstall it. Might not have my save files anymore, but I'd rather have the game than fucking nothing at all. Now I don't even have a purchase anymore. $60 game, absolutely useless because they screwed up my account. Yeah, that's not cool.
There are problems with the digital age. There are a lot of quirks, a lot of kinks.
It's not foolproof.
No, not even fucking close.
Nope. This is what I say about the streaming age too. This is why I am not down with streaming until they can prove to me that streaming is fast, efficient, and most importantly, consistent. Because I don't want to be because I see this all the time when I'm streaming fucking movies that off these Netflix and stuff where the quality's in and out, the sound is good 1 minute, and then the picture's fucking gone, and it's 720 and it's 1080 and it's all over the board because your internet's kind of up and down. Maybe getting a bit of a storm. Hey, if I'm watching the Blu-ray 4K, guess what? It's 4K all the way the whole fucking time. Bit rate's awesome. Boom, because it's on disc, baby. There you go.
And that's what I would want the fanny pack edition for is the Blu-ray. And I guess I hate saying that. I mean, I was calling the Series X the fridge for the longest time. So it is what it is. Like I said, I've owned both consoles every generation up until this one. I don't think I'll be able to get both, at least right now. The way things are looking, I'm not going to be able to. But I agree on so many of your points, but at the same time, I do love my digital.
Oh, totally.
I love that I can just unplug my external SSD and go plug it into my kiddos and just play all my games on his or on my girlfriend's. I don't. Yeah, there's pluses to both, but the digital shit has plenty of compromises, more so than scratch disc.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I sit here at times and I obviously got digital, but not 100% physical. I got quite a few digital stuff, and sometimes it's nice. You sit back and you turn the console on, and you don't have to get up and go over and look through, your drawers and your shelves and try to figure out where the game is and stuff like that. So it's ready to go, that sort of stuff, right? The one thing I wish would start to get a little more consistent with Xbox, I don't know how it is with PlayStation so much, but I wish the fucking updates would actually install. I got mine on install updates all the time, but I don't know how many times I turn the fucking console on, pop a game in, and it's like, update. I'm like, I thought this shit's supposed to auto update. What's going on?
Yeah, what's up with that, actually?
That drives me nuts, man. Especially the game's fucking 80 gig update.
You're talking about Modern Warfare and their 80 gig updates every 3 days? That's fucking horse shit. It's uninstalled. I haven't reinstalled it since I reinstalled Windows. That was a hell of a fucking time the other day. Oh god.
Oh man, well that's what I'm saying. Like even with the Windows and the computer, I wanted to smash my computer so bad the other day. I'm getting I've learned my lesson now is to make sure I turn my laptop on several hours before I go to a podcast, because I don't know how many times I'll fucking turn this thing on in the evening, even though I have my updates set to overnight. And computer needs to update. And then I got to sit there and watch the little spinning wheel for fucking half an hour. Like, what the fuck are they updating now? Like, literally, didn't they just update this last week? Like, what are you updating?
Well, that's the worst is when you set it for a time
Yeah.
And then you get on, and it's like, you need to update, restart now, or schedule for later. Motherfucker,
Exactly.
you were supposed to do this when I was sleeping. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? Do I have to leave my
What are
computer
you
on 24/7?
updating more spyware on my computer in the background so it listens to me and watches me and fucking knows when I fart? Like, what the fuck are you guys installing all the time? Like, it drives me nuts.
Watching.
Like this generation, honestly, that's my biggest pet peeve. From the massive game installs, like right out the gate, fucking everything being like fucking 50 gigs, 80 gigs, 90 gigs. And then after installing these 80, 90 gig fucking games, having 18, 20 gig updates, like where's the compression? Where's the fucking workarounds? On the 360, it was, PS3, there was never anything like this. Never, not even close.
And
There
they
was
had
updates, but
dude,
they weren't
they were
like every
on top
week
of
like
that
they are
shit.
now.
Oh, their
Well,
UI
why
and
are-
everything over time
Yeah.
was so good.
Why are they so frequent now? I don't understand it. Why is it
I
like
don't
every
either.
day? Games all the time. Even some of these old games, you're like, fuck, they're actually still updating that? You're like, yeah, it's an update for it. What the fuck are they updating in that game? Right? You
Right.
pop in some random ass game that's like 5 years old and there's an update required. And you're like, there's people still on the fucking server?
Yeah, what the
Like-
fuck, man? I was just here for the campaign.
Yeah, that drives me nuts, man. See you later, Axel. Have a great night, man. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on.
What do you think about that?
Potatoes.
What do you think about that PlayStation Connect, bro?
Oh God. Yeah, they got a new camera. They got a new headset. They got a new remote control. Yeah, they got a little bit of everything now, don't they?
Yeah, they're
damn.
they're like all the accessories. Like they have them this gen.
Yeah,
Like
their headset
right out
or
of the
their
gate.
audio is supposed to be really, really good.
their
Yeah, like
headset looks quality. Like just from looking at it, it looks pretty okay.
well, thank God for the solid state drives and apparently the quick loading, because that might help at least make up for some of the freaking update and install size. I can only imagine what the installs are going to be now with the 4K textures coming out on PS5 and fucking Xbox. Oh, my
shit.
God. Oh, I'm dreading it already.
We need some really, really good compression techniques in the background going on,
Oh,
or
shit,
it's
dude.
going to be. It's they're just getting bigger too, like
Yeah, it's
bigger
big.
and bigger and bigger. Oh my god!
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? They don't have was it the research and testing departments like they used to. Like, you don't see that much anymore now. They don't hire many people for that. They don't tell me they got 100 people testing these games. That's bullshit. They only got a couple of people testing them, and then they put them in the wild because they know that they got 1 million people downloading the game. The bugs will be pretty much detected in the first 24, 48 hours, and then they'll just get their fucking teams to try to iron it out. We're the guinea pigs now. We're the unpaid.
We're the
We're the fucking
testers.
unpaid test departments. That's what we are.
Yep, they can update it as we go.
Yeah. Not to mention how many games have betas. Betas, right? How many games have a fucking beta now? You download the beta and you're thinking, well, this game should be pretty smooth at fucking launch because 1 million people just played the beta and gave them feedback. And then the game comes out and you're like, this shit's fucking broken as shit. Like, what the hell? What was the fucking point of the beta? You didn't fix shit. Now you got a whole nother. What the fuck?
Well, you also have this nonsense where games just stay in like beta or an alpha version, 18 point whatever, and it just continues to grow as they update and fix, or they add more to the game. Like,
I think
it's almost like games are just not finished.
Yeah,
anymore.
I think for some, they don't have enough money to finish some of these games. I think they're just trying to see if the user base stays high enough so they can go, yeah, if we're going to head back to the bank to see if we get another loan to extend this game, well, we got like 1 million people on her, so maybe it's worthwhile now. You know what I mean?
Well, could be. I mean,
you never know.
Think about how much money they're saving though by making us the guinea pigs.
Oh yeah, back in the 16-bit era, but there was no updates, there was no internet. They actually had to test the games. They had to be next to flawless because a broken game in the cartridge error couldn't be fixed. You'd have to be returning it to the store. Right? That's it. There's no more return to the store. Now that you bitch and complain, and you hope to fuck that these guys got it ironed out in the run of a week.
And they just fix it. Yeah. You really hope the next update does it. That's about all you're stuck with.
Warzone's in beta, according to HR Bomber. Juno says Star Citizen. Infinite says Fortnite. Manite's Anthem.
Games.
Yeah, Fortnite's still in beta. Yeah, there's so many games that, I think PUBG is still in pre-fucking alpha. I think that one. Jeez Louise.
Anthem never made it to beta. It was just a shit show right out of the gate. Sorry
Oh,
for those that liked it. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I pulled my pre-order because
Anthem is kind of the video game version of a fucking turd wrapped in a nice bow. You know, look
Yeah.
good on the fucking surface, but once you unwrap it, there's a lot of stink there.
yeah, there's a lot of stink. I can smell it from here, and I don't even own it.
Yeah, BioWare. That's their one company that their next game's got to be like their next game's got to kind of right the ship, or their
Oh,
reputation.
they have to hit a home run. They
Yeah.
have to. I was so fucking pumped for that game, so excited for so many months, and then like at the last second, I pulled my pre-order. I'm like, you know what? I gotta wait.
Crispy wrote in the chat. I won't read that out loud, but that's a good one. Yeah. Oh man. Actually, you know what we should do, guys? We should all collectively put our money together, and for some of these fucking YouTubers that have pretty much gone off the deep end for one way or the other, we should actually buy fucking flip flops and get a logo put on our flip flop gamer and fucking send them to these people. Well, that would be fucking hilarious. Just a random package show up on their fucking doorstep of a fucking pair of flip flops. Flip flop gamer.
That would be
epic. That would be awesome. Let's do that. Let's talk to Dealer and some of the boys with the big bucks rolling in and say, guys, let's get some flip flop gamer flip flops. These fucking people sending to them. Oh man,
shit.
Oh, that would be the best.
We should just start a flip flop gaming podcast, and every week we'll talk about a different console and why it's better than the rest.
Yeah, there you go. Juno's on to something. They should have an official title, yeah, flip flop game podcast or something like that. Oh man, that's fucking funny.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Anybody good with animation where you can have a big pile of shit that looks like the poop emoji and have a pair of flip flop sandals on the bottom? And he like walks across the screen. Put that on every fucking podcast. Every time somebody brings up somebody's name,
He also
pile
needs
of crap, the pair of flip flops and sunglasses on.
Crap on it. Just the word. Just that word.
Big bold white letters. Crap. Yeah, fucking crap. Flip flop crap. There you go.
Blue trucker hat.
Oh fuck, trucker hat, sunglasses, big old fucking turd, and walking across the screen in fucking flip flops. Oh my god, it'd be funny. Oh man,
shit.
Oh man.
That was
anyway,
a good one.
Back to the topics at hand. Let's get down to Primal Eve's, I guess, question of the night. We'll get out of here. I didn't have a lot more topics, but some juicy ones tonight. And that's basically, and I would love to hear from the chat too. Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky gets spanky. The Christmas poo. So basically, Primal Eve's question of the night was, what got you into gaming and why do you game? Everybody has various different reasons of why they game and the kind of games that they love. So why do you game? And I'll start with you, Husk, man. Like, what kind of got you into gaming, and most importantly, what kind of keeps you gaming?
Well, what got me into gaming was actually my grandma. My grandmother got me an Atari and also let me play on her computer, so I got some Oregon Trail in. But the Atari is where I started, and my grandma bought it and would play with me when I was a little kid. So that's my grandma got me into gaming. It was, which is awesome to say because she was an amazing woman. What keeps me gaming? Well, it was mostly because of the friends I have online. So yeah, I guess I would say the handful of people that I have always played with since like Xbox Live came about. People I've known for so many years, and I'm a sucker for a really good single player story driven game.
Leonidas, his grandma gave you a beer for every game you beat.
Oh shit.
Fucking full on alcoholic by the time he was 10.
You suppose I came out of the womb cracking open a beer?
Oh.
What's up, fuckers? I'm here.
Yeah, that's all you hear is the sound of a bottle. Fuck.
That's it. That's it for me, man.
Middle-aged game guy. My uncle bought Pong in 1979. My brother and I played it there. He fell in love. He just never went back. So these days, like when you're gaming these days, I mean, obviously we kind of know what we get in. Usually it's somebody passed along a console or whatnot and you got into it and you played it and you just loved it. So when you're gaming today is what is it? See, it's entertainment, is a form of release, and escape is, what kind of, what's the main objective why you turn on your consoles now and keep gaming?
Escape. And,
Escape,
and
yeah.
the fun I have with the friends I have on there. Like it doesn't matter what game, if it's a multiplayer game and I hop on with somebody that I'm friends with, I have a good time. And it's an epic release from this fucking mad world that we live in on a day-to-day basis. So that would be the main reason, is literally to get the fuck away and get out of my own head for a while.
Crispy says, keeps the game now. The frenzies meet awesome people to bring in people together. He's totally right. A lot of us don't have the luxury of having our friends over for the LAN parties that we had back in school, and we all remember those very fun memories. Parties. And nothing beats a LAN party, honestly. I would take that any day of the week if I was able to bring all you guys in. If I could have Husk here and Crispy and Dreadpool and everybody that, like, I have community game nights. If I could have you in my living room now and we could play some fucking games, it'd be no better way to rock it. But
epic.
Beers, pizzas, fucking, it'd be amazing.
Sounds like a fantasy these days.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Unbelievable. I guess the closest you can get to that in the real world now is when you see those big tournaments where everybody's sitting next to each other.
Right.
But, yeah. LAN parties are just different. It was everybody's just having fun and, shit talking. LAN party
screaming across the room.
The old N64 where you had 4 guys on one screen and everybody was screen peeking on GoldenEye and you bitched at your buddy like, fucking stop looking at my fucking screen. How'd you know I was in the washroom on that level, dude? You fucking didn't know I was in the washroom. There's no way you heard me if I walked down with my AK and you're like, yeah, he's in the washroom. I'm like, yeah, of course you did. You fucking look at my screen, you asshole.
Yep. And that was bad on Xbox too with Halo. Before Xbox Live came about. It's like, Halo, God damn.
You go to jump down on some of the energy sword, they turn around with their shotgun immediately. Like, yeah, because you fucking knew I was coming, you dipshit.
You were watching, motherfucker.
Yeah, the good old days, eh? Yeah, nothing beats it, but like that's a community game nights. I mean, as far as myself, escape is one way to put it, but it's escape, but it's also to another level. Like back in the day, it was a little bit more for pure fun when I was younger, because the games obviously were very realistic overall back then. They were hard to kind of immerse yourself in a fantasy. If you're a VR player, especially, like some of these games are so well done, it's practically like being there. Like you're literally emotions. You can take on so many emotions. Like I'm playing that game on VR a couple months back there before I got rid of it, and that was Paranormal Activity. And holy shit, to feel my pulse.
Game of that?
Yes, Paranormal Activity. It was amazing. My fucking blood was pumping, man, as I'm going into these rooms and there's shit fucking, you know what I mean? And the sound effects going through your ears. Like, dude, I could make your fucking hair on your arms stand up. You know what I mean?
I would shit.
And it's that immersion. Shit right up in your face. And like, even without the VR, like look at the racing games now. Like, my God, it almost feels like you're inside of the cockpit of these multi-million-dollar cars. Right. You can almost smell the engine oil. You know what I mean? And action games are so visceral now with the way that they handle the action and the sound effects. Like we're playing live action movies. So they're not only fun, but they bring you into another level we didn't even have as kids. The only difference between me now, the difference between me now than they say the 13-year-old Noof Nukem is I don't have the patience anymore. I don't have the attention span and the patience to play through overly punishing and hard games. When I was 16-bit era, a lot of those games are hard. Go back and play them today. They're fucking hard.
Shit.
I didn't think they were hard then because that's all we knew. We didn't know any better. We didn't have unlimited continues. We didn't have multiple save points. You either played the game, in a lot of cases, you had to play it and beat it in the first run, or that was it. Right? And if you died in fucking level 3 and had no more lives, you went back and you did it over again. Started at level 1 and you went back and you learned from your mistakes and you did it again. But back then, that's all we had. And back then we didn't have 20 games to play through and backlogs of 100 games. Like, now with so many games, you don't have time to fucking spend hour. At least I don't have enough disposable time or income to keep up with the gaming. So I can't handle these games that beat the shit out of me. As much as I like a challenge, my patience goes, and I don't have the money either to be fixing broken controllers and television sets, because I will break shit. Trust me. I get fucking livid. If you guys ever watch me stream sometimes, even how bad I get with the fucking puzzles in games, Crispy and Dread will tell you, and Spider-Man will tell you, when Noof sees a fucking puzzle, he's like, fucking puzzles.
Your Arnold fan come out. Tell us how you really feel.
I'm telling you, when I'm sitting there in the games and the puzzles are there, I just want to crush it. I want to pick up the console and I want to throw it out the window, because I can't stand that I got to push the crate over to the left, and I got to push the crate into this hole, and then I got to move the ball down in another hole, and you got to move it around like in Legend of Zelda just to get the fucking magnetic shit and this fucking ice shit and this fire shit, and it's all this kind of shit in there. And I got to move everything around. You got to figure it out. I sit down. I'm trying to relax. I want my brain to shut down. I want to have fun. I don't want to have to sit there and fucking be Albert Einstein, fucking doing mathematics and doing all this crap to get through the goddamn game. What the fuck is that all about? Right?
Love it, dude.
There you go.
Every time, dude, it'll never get old for me.
Easy money for kid. Dropping $10 in Super Chat, 3 lives, and that was it. And better hope that no one even sneezed too close to the console, cause it to freeze. Oh fuck yeah! Remember back in those days when the fucking console would freeze up or some shit too, or maybe the power went out and you had to start the whole thing off.
Rage, dude. Talk about rage.
Oh god!
Holy shit! Hey,
Invader, what's up, bro? Yeah.
You just sit there and blowing it for fucking 5 minutes and hope when you put it back in, it didn't freeze in the same spot.
Jesse says you can tell I've been playing a Plague's Tale. Actually, Plague's Tale has been simple for that one hasn't been near as bad as some of. I think one of the most frustrating, Spider-Man will tell you, was watching me when I was playing Mass Effect Andromeda. And you know those fucking alien fucking code ones? Oh my god, and they were like on every fucking planet trying to get into those fucking archives or whatever the hell they were, arcs. And you had to do all those look like fucking Predator symbols off his arm, and you had to do all the fucking tick, 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 tick. Oh my god. And you had to look at certain shit to find the missing emblems, and oh my god. Well, there's a lot of other ones. What does Cletus think about that? Well, hey, fiddly diddly. Thank God I'm not what's one for the fucking puzzles. It's puzzling enough sometimes just trying to figure out where the hole is on the old lady in the dirt. I got to lift a couple of rolls and I got to shift it around a couple of times. That's about as close as I get to puzzles. Yes, indeed. Yep. A problem with me too. I got that what you call ADHD or whatever the fuck they calls it. And when I get a puzzle, my grandmother used to give me the jigsaws and be one fucking puzzle piece of missing. God damn it, man. I'm telling you, I'd wedge you my arsehole with my fucking underwear. I'd be so pissed off. I fucking want to go out and I want to smack a pig upside the head. I fucking hate puzzles, man. And this Snookum, he don't like puzzles. I'm telling you, he can't stand them. He don't like the puzzles. Puzzles gets a coming, that guy go and run. He be bitching. I'm telling you, you want to see him on the street, he curse up, motherfucker, I tell you. But that's what Cletus think about it all. Now, you guys have a night now?
You tell him, Tater.
You guys want me to send you guys a bowl of French fried potatoes? The French fried potatoes, I can send one to you down to UPS. I'll stick it in a box. It might be a little moldy when it gets to you, but I tell you, it should be good.
Did you just say to me? Oh, Junos, you're so right. Dead Space is the best horror game ever.
Oh fuck!
One of I don't know. It's at my top. It's at the top of my list. What's Crispy talking about?
Leonidas, I remember Ninja Gaiden driving me up the wall. Ninja, yeah, that was a hard one, man. You had to get the fucking timing down on that. Some of those platform jumps and shit. And I remember how frustrating the original Tomb Raider was. It wasn't so much the puzzles, like the fucking arcade controls. Back then, I mean, I didn't even bitch about them as much as I do now, because back then, that was all you knew, right? 1996, playing Tomb Raider on the fucking Sega Saturn. That was where I played it first. You guys remember that the original game? And she moved in 4 directions, like left, right, front, and back. And half the jumps, if you didn't hit the fucking right timing, she'd blit down in the fucking hole. There she goes, right? And
Sega Saturn.
Oh, you know, you had to get it just right. I don't know how many times you'd fall in a pit because she just fucking couldn't jump properly. Yeah.
What's Crispy
So-
talking about?
I don't know. I gotta go. Moldy tater.
Husk gonna join Friday? Question mark. What's
I don't know.
Friday?
Join what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or FRI. I'm assuming it's Friday.
Friday.
FRI. Husk gonna join FRI? Question mark. I'm lost.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, over an hour and a half in, I think we definitely had a fantastic show. Huge thanks to ACS Husk for coming to join us, filling in for Craig Simmons. Again, guys, I'm going to apologize for Primal. She can't help it, but she is out. So Jesse Darby dropping a $2 in the super chat. LOL. He must have liked something in there, made him laugh. Manuel A says Noof is crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely a flaky
MK
bastard.
Fight night.
Friday Mortal Kombat Fight Night. Nice.
Get
Cool.
my ass beat.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing this Friday night, but hey, if I'm around, I might be always able to join. If somebody throws the invite my way, I'll suck at it, but fuck, I'll still try. You know,
Why
what I'm
not?
saying? Yeah, I'll have to go practice up. But it was a fantastic show. The chat was really amazing, guys, tonight. Like fucking 35 likes, not even a down thumb. Everybody was respectful, fantastic. I love you guys. I really do. A lot of the same faces here every week, some new ones as well. You guys are just amazing, man. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody here. And like I said, it's fantastic, man. I can't wait to come back next week. Should be another great time. But in the meantime, until then, I wish everybody all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy. Wish you and all your families the best. And, keep it gaming, man. Keep it real. Have fun. We have fun here. I love PlayStation. I love Xbox. I love it all. We're gamers at heart. You guys know with us, it's not console worn, the whole fucking podcast and shit. You tell it like it is. Some of it I like, some of it I don't. Obviously, I had a fucking rant tonight on Xbox, and it's not because I hate Xbox. It's the opposite. I'm hard on them now because I just want them to be the best that they can be. I want to see great games. I'm kind of tired of the talk. I'm tired of the waiting. That's all it is. It's not because I hate them and I'm ready to give. I've never given up on Xbox. Everybody knows. You see all the shit I fucking buy with Xbox on it. Don't look like a hater to me buying lights and shirts and fucking everything else. Somebody who hates Xbox, don't go out and spend fucking fortunes of money on Xbox games and Xbox controllers and Xbox merch. That's not a hater. That's a fan. I love it. I'm hoping that July is going to be an amazing show, and I can't wait to talk about it right here in this podcast and maybe a few other guest podcasts as well. I hope they kill it. Like I said, ball is in their court. It's for them to fucking knock it out of the park now, because for the first time in a year, Sony's kind of at least thrown down the gauntlet a little bit. They might have another show yet, I suspect, but now it's time for Microsoft to kind of, like they say, put up or shut up. No more pussyfoot, no more half-ass shows. Show us the good. Show us Halo. If Halo kills it, that alone that's all most of us even need. That will satisfy me right off the bat if Halo kills it. But
that's what needs to happen.
No more fucking 30 seconds, right?
Bring me back to when I bought that first Xbox console and was just fucking excited. Mm-hmm. That's what I need. Bring me that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Bring me that excitement.
Absolutely. No 30-second pre-rendered CGI shit where we get a glimpse of them and then the trailer's over. That's not going to do any Xbox fan justice. This game's fucking several months away now, and is your showcase title for your new hardware. So that's got to come out, and it's got to go for the juggler. It's got to go for the home run. Thanks, guys, for the love and support. Infinite. Yeah, man, catch the rest of it. Hope you guys had a laugh. All that good shit. Husk was awesome. Like I said, Primal was awesome. Hopefully she'll be back for the full show next week. But that's it for tonight. Have fun. We'll catch you soon. Husk, where can people find you, brother? Let people know how they can track you down. We saw some good love for you tonight in the chat. Some people are even voting for you to become our third esteemed panel member. And I didn't put you on here tonight as a candidate. You never expressed interest in that way. But if you are, let me know, because I'll get feedback from the audience. And if it turns out that you want to be here and you can make it, then you'll definitely be a strong candidate for sure.
We'll talk about it. No, you can find me at ACS_Husk on all social media. YouTube, you can find me at Husk GBR. I'll type it in the chat for you so I don't have to say it anymore. Boom. YouTube dot what I just typed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, man. It was fun. Even though it was last second, like I came in here and
Yeah.
I had no
Man, that's
issues the whole time. It was comfortable. It was a good time. I loved
After doing our interview a couple weeks ago, I knew you would have no problem jumping in here with me.
it was a blast, man. I loved being here. Thanks everybody for showing up. I appreciate the shit out of it.
Yep. I want to give a couple of shout outs to some amazing podcasts, the one before me, because they always shout me out when they're on, guys. So RDX podcast with Dealer, Colt, D-Batch, Beastfire, Tim Dog, Fonzarelli, Colt Eastwood, I think it's a Colt. Great show, guys. Great. If you're looking for the knowledge side of fucking podcasts, those guys definitely can bring it. They can articulate stuff about hardware that I definitely can't, but they're also fun, witty, and a great show with lots of positivity for the Xbox brand. Big shout out to my brothers at the Retro Renegades, that sort of stuff. Those guys are awesome. Graphic God, Jago Kukin, Stinking Corpse, Crispy Bomb, all those guys. The Forking Crew and Wilmy Hood and everybody over at the Amazing Gaming Beyond the Box. I love those guys too. There you go, HR Bomber and Bomber Sister. Leonidas is here. Lots of guys from that podcast here. Fort Boy, Wilmy Hood, ACS Husk. Yeah, man, the list goes on. So many people, but just giving a big shout out to them because they support me. I support the back. Go check out those podcasts if you haven't done so already. But that is it. Oh, and I got one thumbs down before the show fucking ended. I must have said the wrong podcast name or something, did I?
No, I honestly think they did, just because you mentioned there wasn't one yet.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we'll be back next week, guys. Have fun. Catch you later. I hope I gave everybody a shout out in the chat tonight. If I didn't, I apologize. I try to keep up. While the podcast is still small enough at that point. Infinite says it was me.
Shit,
all right. But we'll see you guys when we find me. It's Noof Nukem 76 on PlayStation, and right here on this channel, Noof Nukem and Gaming After Dark next week. We'll catch you guys later. Draven Arrow, Crispy Bomb, Infinite, Junos 23, Leonidas, everybody's been in the chat, guys. Thanks for being here. Spider-Man.
Fuckers.
We'll see you fuckers soon. Take care. Peace out. And the broadcast is over.